Hey everybody, it is Wednesday night. The fish room is put to sleep except for my waterfall tank here. I've got my one final floodlight on, shining down into the tank. This is how I like to end my evening. I think it's nice and relaxing. It puts a nice soft glow in the tank. And then of course all of those guppies in there swimming around under that light in the darkened room look absolutely fantastic. Just a moment, I'll get over there, I'll wiggle my fingers in the water, they'll think it's feeding time and they'll all come over and we'll get a good look at them. I just want to give you a moment to take it all in, and the very different lighting. Normally this is lit up like daytime, but this time of day it almost looks like a underlit fountain or something. It's very different looking. The twinkly sparkly light goes all the way up to the ceiling, so the whole room sort of shimmers and glows, and that nice sort of green glow you get from the overhanging daylilies and everything is starting to look really good. So it's really starting to fill in up above. I was in here and I just sprayed for aphids again. I know I just did that the other day. I have to do it every few days. I didn't spray so much tonight that I did another water change. I just left it alone. But you can see how low the water level is. I just did a big water change, I want to say 2 days ago. And I usually top this off as close to the top as I can get it. The floor down here is not level, so the far left of the tank, we get right to the top, and yet if you look off to the right, there's still maybe a 1/4 inch gap. So you do see the glass lip there, but with the front taken off, you don't see the glass too much. It's almost sort of an invisible edge there, and I kind of like that. So I actually went out today both to the PetSmart and the Petco, and I wanted to see what kind of guppies they had, if anything was in there worth picking up. And the PetSmart had the usual suspects. I looked at the yellows, I looked at the fancies. Their cobras were on sale. They had cobra endlers, which were really amazing. And ultimately, let's see who all comes over. Usually I can get the guppies to come over, because these yellow ones are just fantastic. I absolutely love them. So I looked at all of them, and none of them really did it for me. It was just, I could have added to what was in here, and it would have been more of the same. Again, they are absolutely fantastic looking, but at the same time, how many yellow guppies from PetSmart do I want in the same tank? There's so many varieties out there. If I'm going to fill this tank up with some pretty guppies and really put some, vibrant color in here, I've got options. So I'm going to wait. I held off. I actually went to 2 fish stores today and still came home with nothing. I didn't even pick up any fish food or, treats for the fish or anything. There's my opaline gourami. I threw a bunch of bloodworms in there tonight so that it would get down to the bottom, and the things like the frog, and I say frog, I've only seen one at a time for a while now. Theoretically there should be 3 of them in there, but in the last several times I've seen them in the last couple of weeks, I've only seen one at a time. So until I see more than one, I can't make any grand assumptions that there's still 3 of them in there. So there's at least one as of yesterday. I haven't seen it yet this evening, but I do want to make sure there's worms and stuff on the bottom so that the frog or frogs can feed. And then of course I've got the sculpin down there. Again, I've got to say singular because I've only seen the one the last several times I've looked in there. And again tonight I don't see any. So I don't know, it's late. The lights probably really should have been out a little while ago anyway, so maybe the fish on their own normal rhythms have already gone into the darkness in the other parts of the tank. Because you can see, we can go way over here in the tank, and while it might look fairly brightly lit, it looks quite shadowy compared to the rest of the tank. When you back up a little bit, you can kind of see the difference. So there's plenty of places in there for those fish to be right now that would prevent us from seeing them. I will say on a final note that in addition to the temple plant back there that I have pointed out in the past that I planted, I took the one that I had cut from my office tank, and it was already showing signs of new growth and roots. And so what I did was I lifted up this big rock right here and laid this all the way down underneath, and that's what's going to start growing. And hopefully we will get to see some serious growth up and out of the tank, both with that one, and then this one back here actually had 3 stalks coming up, so we might actually get a little bit of bushy effect, out here in the foreground, and some of those pretty purple flowers like we've got going on in the office tank, because the one in the office tank is still just blooming away. It looks beautiful, so I'm really happy with it. It was just getting too big. I had to cut the top of it off, but trimming plants is never a bad thing. It basically just always gives you more free plants. It's one of the things I like about plants is you only have to buy one, and if you're patient, you'll have as many as you want, provided you know what you're doing. It's not difficult. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and start winding everybody down here, get the lights turned out. Call this my Wednesday night video. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss anything I got coming up. Don't forget, this one here is my Waterfall Tank. See you real soon in the next one.